Okay, welcome back to The Real Wine Show, folks. This is episode 2 of season 8. And before we get into things, let me do a quick announcement for our new sponsor, the Gabriel Group. They are the premier hospitality equipment source for the Midwest. Gabriel Group offers more than just tabletop solutions. They provide a network of showrooms and test kitchens in Detroit, Grand Rapids, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis, where you can get inspired by the latest styles from top brands like Steelite, Turbo Chef, and South Bend. Their state-of-the-art test kitchens are real game changers. Chefs can demo recipes and test the latest high-tech equipment. It's an amazing resource for restaurateurs, and the people there are great. Visit GabrielGRP.com to find a showroom or to book your kitchen time. We'll have the link in the show notes, so don't worry if you missed GabrielGRP.com. Check them out, folks. And with that, let's jump into our introductions.
Our first guest from my left to my right, looking at your radio from my perspective, is Alan Collins. Today on the show, we are joined by the man who has lived the Michigan wine scene from every possible angle, from the retail floor of Whole Foods to the dining rooms of Grange. Oh man, I had it right the first time. Kitchen and Paisano. From the mean streets, hawking juice from behind the cellar door. He's now traded his sales bag for a tractor. Is that how you say that? Okay.
I don't own a tractor.
Okay. Oh, okay. For a non-tractor. And is currently
looking into drones.
Okay, for drone tilling. Currently transforming 45 acres. What is that in hectares? We don't need to know that. Of how do you say the county that you're in? Berrien. I should know that. I live in the state. County soil from conventional grain back to its healthy wild side, with 10 acres of vineyard planted to go in.
Planned.
Oh, planned. You know what? Yeah, thanks.
I wish I could say they were planted.
He's a full-time dad of 3, an amateur winemaker at making the leap to the pros, and a partner at a project that is choosing small and thoughtful over high volume and mechanical. And his hot take, he believes Michigan has yet to reach its peak because too many are playing it safe. He argues that to make something original, you have to stop emulating the world-famous wine regions and start taking the risks necessary to create something uniquely Michigan. Ladies and gents, the Real Wine Show veteran Alan Collins.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thanks. What is the number one thing you see that's preventing Michigan wineries from being uniquely Michigan?
But I think it's, we're seeing the transition happen right now. I'm meeting Domenico here today, who's working in a lot of the same ways that Zach and I are planning on managing our vineyard. And we've had a lot of bigger commercial takes on what the wine industry looks like here. And, some of the little guys who split off are still, working real conventionally. And there's increased interest in what we want to do, but we just want to be part of that third wave that really brings more authenticity to the Michigan wine scene.
Sick. Awesome. And then next to him is Bobby Frank. Our next guest is a man who doesn't just drink wine, he tracks it to its source. A longtime staple of the Ann Arbor wine community, he made his career as a home inspector, which might explain why he's so good at looking under the hood of wineries. Or in the basement? In the cellar. Oh, there we go. He's a published wine writer and a globetrotter who has navigated the world's most prestigious regions by foot and by car. And by bike?
No.
Oh, okay. Just those two. His palate is literally world-class, having served as a wine judge in 3 different countries, including the toughest country in the world, or the room? France. His hot take. He has no interest in tasting the room theater.
In tasting room theater.
Oh, tasting room theater.
Tasting room theater.
Oh, I see. Okay. He prefers the plays. Oh, wait. No, okay. If you want to understand the wine, you have to meet the vigneron. He insists on looking the maker in the eye because for him, the story of the bottle starts and ends with the person who picks it from the vine. Bobby Frank, it's back to great. It's great.
I think so.
It's great to have you back on the show. All right.
I hope it will be. Great.
Yeah, jeez, what a bad read by me. So we live in an era of brand storytelling and slick marketing. When you're standing in the cellar in Loire or Burgundy, what's the one tell from a winemaker that lets you know that what they're putting in your glass is actually the real deal, not just a sales pitch?
I have to say, sometimes it can be that they're just serving you wine in very ordinary glasses rather than a really high-end glass.
Okay.
Sometimes I can say that is a vigneron who is really just concerned about what's in the glass.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so if the glasses are too fancy, look out, huh?
Sometimes.
Yeah. All right.
Hot take number 2 right there.
Yeah. And our third panelist is another familiar guest on the show, Chef Jason Berthold. Rounding out the panel, of course, he has brought 30 years of culinary experience to the table. He's operated at the highest levels of the industry, navigating the high-pressure, Michelin-starred kitchens of New York City, Napa, and San Francisco. He's collaborated with icons like Thomas Keller and Michael Mina, but he isn't just a master of the plate. Under the mentorship of the legendary Abe Schoner of Scolium Project, he made the leap from homebrewer to winemaker, giving him a rare 360-degree view of how a bottle actually interacts with a menu. He's currently steering the culinary and wine program at the premier Travis Point Country Club right here in Ann Arbor, or Saline, I guess it is. His hot take, that most wine drinkers are missing out. He argues that there's too much emphasis on cellaring reds, and he's here to challenge folks to drink more aged wine. Is that correct?
White wine.
What'd I say? Drink more white wine. Thank you. Yeah. So, Jason, what is that number one type of white wine we should all be aging?
High acid white wine, maybe Loire.
Okay, and for how long?
It all depends, but I think if you can just put something down for 2 to 4 to 5, 6 years, you're going to experience something that's a little bit more maybe nuanced and complex.
Okay,
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Hard agree.
Yeah,
Thank you.
excellent. Okay, so we have a fascinating dynamic going on here today then. We've got Alan, who's literally digging in the dirt out there and defining a new Michigan identity. Bobby, you're trekking across the globe to peek under the hood. We're going to stay with that because there's no metaphor for like peeking under the cellar, peeking in behind the cellar door. My gosh, Alan, you should have been there for us with that one.
You got there.
We worked it
I didn't
out.
want to give it to you.
Yeah, I earned it the old-fashioned way. And then Chef Jason bringing the precision of the Michelin grade kitchen to the question of what we should actually be keeping in our cellar. So we got the grower, we have the chef provocateur, and we have the insider. So yeah, let's get things underway. First, though, a glass check. What do you guys have in your glass? Tell us what you're drinking and what you think about it. Go, Alan, yes.
I got the Arbois that Keo brought, and I foolishly did not note the maker. I just thought, ooh, Trousseau, and put it in my glass. And it's lovely.
A lovely trousseau. Okay, cool. Anybody know what that is, by the way? Or? I'm sorry? Okay, I couldn't hear, but that's fine. I got the headphones on.
Door bond.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Bobby, what about you? What do you have in the glass?
I've got what Steve brought, the 2016 Muscadet, I think it's Usseret. Is that Steve, is that it? Usseret?
Okay.
He says maybe.
And how's that drinking?
Well, it's, people oftentimes, and Steve and I were just talking about this, don't think about aging Muscadet, but as pertains to what Jason was saying here, is that even white wines, if they're well made, can age really well. So this is almost about 10,
Right.
closing in on 10 years old. And it's showing age, but it's in a beautiful spot, I think.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you put it? Like on that curve? Is it like approaching
it's-
peak, near peak,
Yeah,
in
no,
the zone? In the zone.
It's drink now, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Good. And Jason, how about for you? What do you have in the glass?
Similar to Bobby next to me here, I also have Muscadet. This is a 2012 Clos de Briord Demi Pépinière. So
yeah.
this is
I tasted that. It's so intense.
yeah, it is very intense, and there's definitely that oxidative element that is present on the nose and the palate, but I feel like it's very harmonious. So kind of an example of a wine that is maybe 3/4 of the way through its trajectory.
Okay, excellent. Good. All
This
right.
must be it.
Well, then, Matt, do you want to get things kicked off with our first story for these guys, our first news story?
Yeah, I gotcha. So, ho hum, yes, yawn. Another ridiculously wealthy individual purchases a world-renowned winery with their ill-gotten gains. Billionaire and mobile brothers Oliver and Martin Bouygues have resold Clos Rougeau to Canadian billionaire Stéphane Crétier. Crétier is the owner of global security firm Garda-World. In 2023, he purchased the Napa winery Vine Cliff for $57 million. This is all public knowledge. But what you might not know is that Crétier has coaxed a certain ex-winemaker vigneron of Domaine Alex Gambal out of retirement. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you might be able to guess. So, did Oliver and Martin Bouygues sell Clos Rougeau to Stéphane Crétier? And did they convince the mystery celebrity winemaker to pick up the pipette? But in broader terms, these kind of sales, are they a loss to wine culture as a whole? That something like Clos Rougeau and even smaller wineries like Hopewell are purchased and traded, sometimes like commodities? Or is it like kind of more of a monetary reflection of their societal value? Yeah.
Are you saying if it's true or not that this other person bought?
Even if it isn't
Clos
true,
Rougeau?
but just kind of like to start the discussion.
Okay. Well, is it true or not, or do you want us to guess?
You could do whatever. Like, we're trying to. Last couple of seasons, we had some dead air while people thought and tried to gamify the show, which it is a game show. Crap.
No, but Bobby's going for the extra points. He's really getting into it here. He wants to go for the big win. So, yeah, you can do both, Bobby. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I would be surprised if the Boygues would be selling Clos Rougeau. They were so proud of it. So, and they have plenty of money. There's no need for them to have to sell it. They also owe Chateau Montrose down in Bordeaux. Yeah. And so it could be true, but I would be surprised. And then also, I never thought that much of I can't remember who it is, but the winemaker at Alex Gambal, I was never that super enthused about their Bourgogne wines. Okay. So that doesn't quite make sense to me either, bringing that in. But that's what and in terms of what's happening with the rich buying up so much, I mean, that just is. It is. I was just
definitely some extra points for that, for stating that. Just keeping it real.
Yeah, I was just at Lascombe, and they were bought recently by the people who bought Heights, and they're all putting a ton of money in. It's not that they're not improving the wines or doing more, and Lascombe really needed a lot of work done to it, but there's something not of the essence of winemaking when you're having billionaires so often involved in it.
Yeah, you lose a lot of soul, I guess.
Yeah.
So. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on that?
I echo what Bobby said. I don't believe that Clos Rougeau was sold. I think there's so much heritage and prestige and market value there that they wouldn't need to sell.
Yeah.
But to your point also, the infusion of big money into wine, I mean, that's been around for probably longer than I've been alive, right? I mean, that's what people choose to get involved in, and I've seen it firsthand in Napa, and I've not been to France nearly as much as you have, but it's there. And, even speaking to some people today about how capital-intensive winemaking can be, whether you're in a famous region or not, at some point you might need a life preserver saying, yeah, help me out. So,
Right.
I think it's a natural progression. What you hope is that things don't change the identity of that individual domain, producer, wherever it may be in the world. But I think it's a little bit unavoidable.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ramon Conti was owned by a prince before, like just the history of wine and winemaking, is basically tied up with the rich. But that's okay. I don't know. Just how it is, as Bob said. Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
I'll also say no, but it wouldn't surprise me. As Jason said, this type of thing happens all the time, and I don't lose any sleep over it anymore. I'm not sure I ever really did. Capitalism is going to gobble up wineries over time, and new ones will start. And America in particular doesn't value the history of the wineries quite the way that Europe does. It's a little bit more of a commodity, and saying you own a famous winery is something billionaires put on their bucket list.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you're all right. It was fake. I didn't pick that up. So I just threw the extra bit in there without
I
skip ball.
just want to say on top of that, for a while there in France, there had been really more businesses that had been buying up a lot in France. Insurance companies were doing a lot of that, and they've all been getting out of it because they were looking just only at the bottom line of dollars. And when the billionaires themselves are buying it, they're not necessarily. They're looking at prestige, I think, more than they're looking at having to make a lot of money from it.
Well, then wineries are only really worth a lot of money when you're buying and selling them. Like operating them is expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point too. Okay. Well, good. Thank you, gentlemen, for your insights there. Let's hit you with another news story here. So new regulations for 2026 are pushing for full ingredient transparency on wine labels in the USA, listing everything from mega purple to added sulfites and sugar. Early data suggests that when consumers see fining agents or oak chips listed on the back, they tend to treat the wine more like a processed snack food than an agricultural product. That is to say that they don't want to drink it as much. They're willing to pay less for it, or they're less willing to pay a premium for it, whereas pure wines are an expectation for some consumers, particularly Gen Z and millennials. So the debate that I have for you guys is total transparency a win for the consumer, or is it like a type of information overload that might actually scare people away from wine? Should wine be allowed to keep its mystique, behind the curtain there, or is the industry just afraid of people finding out how the sausage gets made, so to speak?
I think it could be a little bit of both. Information overload for consumers, new consumers, is totally real, right? And I remember when
How
I
do
was
you see that? Yeah.
I just think of I personally started consuming wine kind of pre-internet, early internet. So it was books, it was firsthand knowledge, conversations with people in wine shops, with sommeliers. Nowadays, there's information in your pocket on your phone, whether it's true or not. You have no idea.
Right.
Food, wine, all kinds of things, right? So I think that information overload for somebody new getting into wine can be overwhelming. People are overwhelmed by it was in stainless steel or concrete. Or what?
Right.
They don't know what that means, right?
Yeah.
However, getting into ingredients, I think many people want to know what is in their food and ultimately what's in their drink. And I think it will help reveal through transparency people's efforts and intentions with how they're producing wines. And then that might in turn change people's expectation and ability to appreciate those because of those efforts.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, very well stated, Jason. I also feel
in agreement there.
Well, overall, I feel it's important for transparency, and even though it will likely lessen overall wine tasting, maybe we'll also get more wineries to not be putting so many additives. Mega purple is not necessary. It might be important for some people for sales, but it's not necessary for making a good wine.
Sure.
And I think always transparency is almost always a good thing.
Okay. No real downsides there. Mm-hmm. As a wine?
Well, I'd say I think financially there could be some downsides to some organizations.
To those that have to adapt.
That have to adapt, if they do adapt.
Yeah, right, because somebody's going to continue to, somebody's going to pick up bottles probably and not even look at what's in the ingredient list, right? They're going to say, oh, that, yellowtail label or whatever it is, not to dog on yellowtail, but, it's good wine. It's priced right. That may be enough. Alan, as a winemaker, where are you going on this one?
I think it would probably be a good thing from my perspective. I also think it is likely not true. There would be a lot of stuff to put on the back of like Yellowtail, for example, who really uses a lot of additives. But maybe it would encourage people to find different ways. You don't need to add all that stuff to wine, like Bobby said. And, we're the type of wines we're talking about, modern filtration can override the need for, excessive sulfate use and various things like that. Some of the stuff being added isn't, for stabilization. It's to enhance the flavor profile or adjust the acid or the color. That stuff is stuff people are going to do until somebody shames them out of it, and maybe the labeling would cause that.
Okay.
And it is true, I believe.
It is, yeah. It's an actually ongoing thing with the labeling.
Oh,
so,
great.
Yeah. So it could be an upside, I think, for consumers. So.
But I don't think it's been approved yet. It's just something
No, that's
in
right.
works,
It's pending.
yeah.
Yes, it's there's a push, is how we have it phrased here. Because I'm not sure. I know they're doing it. Also, it's happening in Europe as well. I don't know who's going to hit first, or if we're going to have to adopt. Just have to accept European labels. I don't know.
I think they'll start first.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, look at AOC. It's just like there's so many rules and they love it.
Yeah, and also in the way that we're going in this country, it's like, no ways.
For 3 years, it won't happen. probably.
Right. Well, excellent. That's good. Let me see. Do you want to give these guys a score update at this point in time, or how do you?
No. So right now we've got. Oh, do you need some help there? Okay. So we got. It looks like. Nope, I don't got it. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's hit you with one more news story here, then, and then we'll shift into our wine cipher, I think. What do you have a fascinating one you want to hit in with, or can I? You do. Okay, go ahead.
I did the first one. Just at one.
Okay, so I'll do another.
No, it's good.
I'll do like two.
All right. So how about this one here? Let's go with the AI sommelier takeover. Wineries are now using hyper-personalized AI to scan a customer's past purchases and generate custom flavor profiles, amongst other uses. Some tasting rooms are replacing the human story or the human interaction, I should say, with a tablet that will tell you exactly what your palate would prefer from that winery based on your input data. It'll ask you a series of questions and generate likely candidates for you using that AI data analysis. Do you think, the debate we have here is, do you think that technology will make wine more accessible, or does it strip away the soul of the product, the soul of wine enjoyment? If an algorithm can predict your favorite wine better than a human sommelier, does the art of wine recommendation even matter anymore?
I think a good somm can do all that. It's just taking the time to give all those inputs to a person.
Do you think it'd take longer than, say,
Yeah, and I
if
think
you're
for a
sitting
lot-
down with a keypad, that you rather just like tick, 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 tick?
Well, I'm not saying I would rather, but
No,
I
not
think
you,
for
but
a lot,
a lot of
of
people,
people,
yes,
that opens
yes.
up an interaction that they're just not going to have
Yeah.
otherwise.
Okay.
They're not going to have that opportunity to interact with someone who can help them. And if this AI can
Are
do
sommeliers too ugly? Is this a problem too?
No, they're just not-
Why
I
don't they
mean-
want to talk to them?
that. You got to be going to most restaurants don't even have one. And maybe
Anymore, this is
maybe
correct,
the
yes.
bartender knows nothing about the wines. That's pretty common.
Right,
He knows
right.
which ones are the glass pourers, and that's about it.
Okay. Yeah, so you're not worried about AI then taking over?
No,
Because it's...
I'm not.
It's
I haven't
actually-
been doing that job for a decade, so.
Yeah, okay. All right. Bobby, what do you think? Is that going to be a useful technology particularly for wineries, say, at tasting rooms?
I guess it could be. I mean, going to the part of with somms, I mean, generally, if you're going to be in a place where you have a somm who's going to be on that level with you, the wines, it's only going to be, generally quite expensive wines that you're going to be choosing from with large markups.
I see. Okay.
The Earl is a contradiction to that. A great somm and good prices.
In fact, yeah.
But if it's mostly going to be in the large cities.
And that's still true, too. By the
Yeah.
way. Listen.
And it's mostly going to be in the large cities with very expensive wine lists and that. So I think it's that area is really for a very small group of people. So it can't hurt to have some. I wouldn't be interested in it personally, but it can't hurt to have something like that
Right.
available for people to have. I don't
Okay,
have.
well,
I
that's
don't-
interesting. You
I don't
both
have
see
a
it as
pro-
expanding the market.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
And you and Alan both see it as actually potentially expanding the people's
yeah.
access to wine.
Well, because there's a void there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
'cause
and it
otherwise-
might, in some cases, drive those individuals to go seek that interaction with a person.
right, whereas they otherwise...
Might not get there.
Yeah. Where do you fall on that one, Jason?
Well, following up on what Alan and Bobby said, exactly same feelings where, I don't think you're going to go to a restaurant and click all the levers and select this to get your result of what you want to do. But as you both mentioned, there are fewer and fewer sommeliers working floor, and the ones that
Yeah.
are out there are typically at a higher price point. So that in and of itself excludes maybe new consumers or people who are uncertain of what they like. I see this more as a tool that somebody can use on their own time in their own space. You know,
Okay,
I'm
sure.
at home and I just tried my first Malbec and I like this and I like that. What's similar?
Yeah.
And you can kind of have this sort of like feedback of what you might want to try next, and then you go to the wine shop probably before
More
you go to the
informed.
sommelier,
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
"I want to try a Bordeaux blend."
Yeah.
Something like that. So I think it's a very useful tool for the entry of people into the world of wine.
Wow. Well, that's nice and I mean, that's interesting. I really was not necessarily expecting that.
And apps like Vivino and Cellar Tracker, I don't know if they've been using AI until recently, but they've been
Right.
doing similar things. Like they see what you
Sure.
have, what you drink, and then
Sure.
they show you something else that's similar to it.
Sure.
Maybe with less of an algorithm behind it. But
Yeah, yeah.
similar idea behind it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and they've been quite successful, actually. Yeah.
And Chard and Alan, you both have been somms. Did you find mostly that the large majority of your clientele were uncomfortable even asking you questions, like they just felt shy and uncomfortable about asking
Well,
questions?
I was a churlish sommelier. That's why they were.
Oh.
I was like, let's scowl from the corner of the room.
I was the same.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to talk to you. They want you to open the bottle, and they might ask you a thing or two. But the ones who want to talk to you will ask. Many people get uncomfortable when you come up and start talking to them or at them.
Like they feel pressured in a way?
Yeah, like Kenny never had any shame about that. He would talk at anybody about wine until they told him to go away.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think people. It's a tough thing. I mean, people are diverse, and you have to. I mean, a good sommeliers, I think, just have to be dynamic. You know, they have to adjust and pick and choose the right moments, and then the right approaches, and all that. So, yeah, it's obviously somewhat of a disadvantage, I guess, to AI when somebody goes. You know, you're going there deliberately, right? So they're going to get that information, whereas a sommelier may have to try to coax it out of them, you know. So, all right, good. These guys are rocking. Do you want to?
All right, score update.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And then we'll do a glass check too, by the way, guys. So a little heads up to keep
yeah.
the juice moving. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, score update. Everybody's tied. Good work. All right, so moving into.
At 0 points.
Oh no, it's like actually it's 85. Like you guys are doing a great job.
It is now time for Grape to Plate with Chef Jason Berthold.
All right, chef, the wine has been poured. Where is this one taking you? Well, let's see. I will say for our listeners that we have I'd say it's a medium red here. It's a little bit on the, smells good. But right in the ruby garnet range, right in the middle. Yep. So a little bit of blue there, a little bit of black, but just a nice, looks like a medium weight, maybe. Medium weight red. But yeah, you got your nose in there.
Yeah, it smells great. It smells really good. Taste here.
Yeah. I get maybe it's a little bit cool. Inhaling there feels feel that cool air, coming out of the glass.
Yeah.
So it's maybe a little bit chilly. That's
Yeah,
my
it'll open up here.
that's my crappy basement cellar.
Wow. Really, really expands on the palate
okay.
tremendously.
All right.
Lovely. Feels very autumnal,
Rooted.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
another way of
Savory. I mean, there's some fruit, some kind of dark blue fruit that you kind of touched on, but by all means, a much more savory wine than I would say a fruit forward wine,
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
which is really fun to work with when you're pairing it with
Oh,
food.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Opens up a whole range of subtleties, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can really put in, maybe play more with like technique.
Yeah, there's some really beautiful aromatics here. I mean, you kind of get like some dried flower stuff.
It's also sleek, despite being, like earthy or autumnal or rooted. And I don't mean that in the sense of like root, like dirty flavors, but I just mean it having a solid sense of kind of being anchored in the vineyard,
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
But it has that, but it's also, it's sleek, right? It's not, I wouldn't call it coarse or gritty or
I would agree.
rustic.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it
yeah.
seems got some polish to it.
Very much so. Yeah, I just can't get over the finish for me just really expands wide, which is it's just surprising given how kind of direct the nose is.
Yeah.
So I think this would be really fun. I certainly think it would open up a little bit with some exposure to air.
Yeah.
This if you're having a wine like this, I'm excited to see what it is with your meal. Maybe pull the cork an hour or two in advance, right?
Okay,
and
sure.
You'll experience something maybe a little bit more developed than you would at first taste here.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. These are all just popped and poured for you. So.
Yeah, I would love to think about a duck preparation.
Ah, cool. I was going to ask. When you said when you were talking about the breadth on the palate, I was like, does that suggest something a little bit fattier or?
Yeah.
Some extra richness.
But not. I think within the realm of duck breast and the fat that's on the breast meat. Not so much direction of confit or something, which is a very different sort of richness.
Yeah, right.
I think this would play nicely with a duck breast that's cooked medium rare, medium, and you kind of get some of that iron kind of bloody component.
Just when you said
in
that,
the meat,
I started smelling that
get back
right
into
away.
this wine.
Yeah.
Duck can be a little intimidating for people to cook at home, especially if you see it with the fat on and the skin on. It's sometimes 1/4 inch thick, and it's like, what do I do with that? And I think a lot of people might be tempted to want to rip that off, but it's a blessing to have that much fat and skin on a duck breast when you can find it that way.
Is it typical preparation to sear it with the skin side down? Or?
Well, it's actually it's not even as high temperature as a sear would be. Like if you think about searing something, you're going to sear maybe
high heat,
scallops or tornado or a piece of salmon. This is really more of a slow rendering.
Okay, because you want that fat to
you want the fat to render out so that you're not getting chewy uncooked fat, and it also provides the fat that the meat will cook in.
Okay, right? Sure.
So
all right, so duck breast
for sure.
Skillet.
Yeah.
Stovetop, not oven. Stovetop.
Stovetop. Yeah. I mean, if you've got a heavy bottom, stainless steel, cast iron is great. But I think you want to really embrace the natural fat that's on this duck breast.
Okay.
And specifically, if you can. If you have the opportunity to get your duck breast a day or two in advance, leaving it uncovered in the refrigerator with that skin and that fat up will help dry it out, firm it up a little bit.
Okay.
And that will allow you with a very sharp paring knife to gently score the fat. You don't want to cut into the meat, but you want to just score that skin a little bit. And now on the stove, we've got a medium to medium low heat. You can almost touch it with your hand for a minute. And you just start cooking that duck breast on the skin
how long would that take?
In a dry pan.
Just generally, ballpark, you're going to be on the medium heat.
Ballpark, start to finish with resting, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, each duck breast is going to be a little different size. I know some people who hunt and maybe have them in their freezer. You might find some that are farm raised. But when possible, to use that fat to help cook your duck breast in. So cooking most of the way on that skin side, that fat's going to start to render, and you start it in a dry pan, you're going to have now rendered duck fat in there, which is never a bad thing. Right? Let's think about keeping that duck breast. In it. Oh, yeah. Let's think about keeping that duck breast medium rare to medium, so you can really kind of get that kind of like that minerality out of it. Right? And then go back to this wine, and let's think about the rest of the meal here.
This is quite herbal too. There's definitely that herbal savoriness in here.
Totally agree. Yeah. One way to kind of play with that might be the use of lavender or rosemary.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah. Lavender can be very overpowering.
I've never cooked with lavender. Of course, I think we're all familiar with it as a, as an aromatic component. But for cooking, a little more. More rare.
It's a really fun ingredient to use in moderation. There's a couple of different ways that you could apply the lavender itself. Even a dried lavender sprig that a lot of people have, for ornamental reasons. I mean, you want it to be organic.
And we have some lavender farms around here, so you should be able to find them.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that it's organic lavender if you're going to be consuming it, obviously.
Correct.
But you could even put that dry sprig of lavender into that pan with that rendering duck fat, and the fat is going to carry the flavor and the aroma of that lavender.
That would be amazing right now. I'm just thinking about that too, and you're selling me on this pair. Okay. So keep it rolling here. I like it. I like where you're going. This is amazing.
Yeah. So we're going to tie a little lavender in with our duck breast here,
because the aromatics really are. I mean, they're just animating in this wine. You know, they're just like, wow.
Yeah.
When I keep going back in and what's this? What's that? What's this?
But there's a firmness on the palate too that I think can stand up to maybe a little bit of spice and earthiness. Lavender itself, I think, is just kind of maybe a top note in the aromatics. You don't want to dominate your dish.
Oh, no.
With that flavor?
For sure. Yeah, it'd be perfumey otherwise. You don't want that.
Yeah. Right. But let's just introduce that top note to kind of tie into this here a
Cool.
little bit.
So a little sprig of lavender in your fat.
Oh, yeah.
And your fry, I mean.
Yep.
Or
And with
whatever you
your
call it.
rendering
I'm sorry,
of
I'm
your
using the wrong words.
crispy, skinned duck breast.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely.
In the past, Chef, you've talked to us about, what do we call it? Preparing or seasoning our meat, like in advance of cooking. Would you do that also in this case?
I would.
Like you talked about leaving it in the fridge for a couple of days, whatever, just to help firm it up.
It's
Would you
gonna
also use like just a little of your basic salt on there?
I think on a preparation like this, just salt and pepper is all you need.
Okay.
And there's some concern about when you sear something, if it's been peppered, if it's going to burn. But we're starting off in a low pan, so there's no concern there.
Okay.
But again, depending on the thickness of the breast itself, obviously the thinner the breast, a little bit less seasoning. You don't want to dry it and cure it, right?
Yeah.
But a little bit of initial seasoning with salt and pepper while it's in the refrigerator drying out is not going to hurt anything, especially if it's a larger size breast with a good fat cap on it.
All right, so we've got that seasoned duck breast then sitting in our cast iron skillet, rendering down.
Yeah.
How are you going to finish the dish? Or is it going to be?
Well, I'm thinking about greens. Some vegetal kind of earthy components here. I'm really fond of Swiss chard. I love Swiss chard, cooking Swiss chard, and in particular, removing the stem from the leaf and cooking them at different times.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, kind of what I'm thinking here.
Those chard can have pretty thick stems sometimes.
Yeah. But the
And
flavor
there can be a
is
disconnect.
just incredible. Like there's just like this like earthiness, like soil kind of character to it, which ties into the finish of this wine a little bit. So I think let's keep it really simple, and rather than trying to have a fully composed meal here, let's talk about this duck breast that we're cooking already with a little bit of lavender. And prior to cooking your duck breast, let's get your Swiss chard prepared. So separate the stem from the leaf, and then with those stems, and this can be rainbow Swiss chard, could be green, could be white, doesn't matter. But with those stems, slice those very finely, very thin.
Okay.
With the leaves, I think keep those in more of a 2 or 3 inch kind of rough piece.
Like torn type of thing.
Yeah, it could be torn. And then let's go in, when we pull this duck out after rendering, we're going to flip it over a little bit in the pan, let it carry over, and then transfer it to a plate or a pan, just tinted with a little bit of aluminum foil. You can put it in if you have a low oven or warm oven, just to kind of let that rest. And then keeping all of that duck fat with the lavender in the pan.
Yes.
Right?
Come on.
Right? Yeah.
Throw in
a little bit of minced onion or shallot into
yeah.
that, kind of get that going. Start with those Swiss chard stems.
Yes, for sure.
Lots of black pepper.
Okay.
So we're getting that pepper, earth,
Beautiful,
soil, right? Get those softened up a little bit. Get that going. If you have a little red wine available that you wouldn't mind cooking with, put a half cup of red wine in there. Get that thing going down.
Well, that's something every kitchen should have, right?
It
I
should,
think we've talked about this in the past too.
Very
You should
versatile.
have there's some basic red and some basic white wine on hand,
Absolutely.
just for exactly this purpose, right?
Right. So get that reduced down a little bit. That should start to emulsify with the fat in there. You could even throw a little knob of butter in if you want to just enhance the richness a little bit.
Yeah.
So now we've got the Swiss chard stems that are cooking down with the liquid, with the wine is reducing, alcohol's burning off. We're going to introduce the leaves on top of that now. Again, a little bit more salt, maybe a touch of pepper. Those will start to wilt off, give off a little bit of moisture. And then if you've got in your pantry some sort of a jam, black currant, blackberry,
okay.
just a little.
I've got some
fruit preserve.
lingonberry from Trader Joe's, or not Trader Joe's, IKEA.
That would work. Yeah,
because it's not very sweet either.
Exactly. You want something that's not super sweet. You don't want to
this
have.
is not sugar.
You're not trying to get strawberry jelly in here, but just a little bit of more of that black dark fruit with a little bit of sweetness.
Okay.
So as everything's kind of coming down,
preserves
the
can
pan,
we
preserve?
Yeah, preserve. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marmalade, you get a little bit more bitterness.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Just a spoonful of that into this pan as everything's kind of coming down, and with the moisture coming off of the Swiss chard, that little bit of wine in there, you kind of melt that preserve out with a little bit of butter and the reserved duck fat. That becomes the sauce that you place over your duck breast.
That sounds amazing. I am on board for that one too. Come on, Jason. This is fantastic.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I love that one.
I'm dying to know what this wine is.
Are you? Well, let's find out.
All right.
Because you gave us a great dish here. Let's see what we've got. Let's see how your thoughts line up with this. So this is the Famille Gras, maybe, of Santa Duc fame in Gigondas.
Yeah.
This is who they are. This is their Cote de Rhone, their 22 Cote de Rhone, from their old vines, Les Vieux Vignes. Famille Gras Cote de Rhone 2022. Okay. How does that line up with your dish preparation? Are you surprised to put a Cote de Rhone with duck, or?
I mean, conceptually maybe a little surprised, but tasting the wine, absolutely committed.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a fantastic pairing. And again,
I do too. Yeah.
We touched on a lot of kind of earthier components in this preparation, which in a very good Cote de Rhone. I think you experience. I mean, we talked about those really high-toned aromatics. There's some fruit, but there's
the pepperiness.
The spice and the pepper.
You mentioned the black pepper.
We're pushing down into lavender territory a little bit there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, lavender cultivation. You're talking about down in the south of France.
Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly. But
so I was going to ask you, what is when you're thinking about, if you work the other way around and you're thinking about, I'm going to do a duck breast, what kind of wine would you like? What's the go-to pairing for that? The classical. You're a classically trained chef, the French stuff.
In my experience, I would say Pinot Noir, duck breast and Pinot Noir. I also, while classically trained in French cooking, spent a lot of time in California, Northern California.
Yeah.
And there's so many amazing duck producers in Sonoma, as are amazing Pinot Noir producers. So I've
actually had duck in Sonoma too. Actually,
yeah, they're wonderful. So that marriage is definitely ingrained in my mind of Pinot Noir and duck together.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Well, that's great. I think that's a tremendous dish, and yes, it's very interesting to see, from my perspective, to taste a Cote de Rhone like this Famille Gras that is so elegant.
Agreed. Agreed.
It's not chunky.
It's not hot, not jammy in any way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really nicely done. Before we go, Chef, what is your practical hack for our listeners today?
Well, we touched on that in this dish about that slow rendering. So sometimes when we talk about cooking, you want to sear over high heat. Some things you want to do, more moderate. With this preparation of duck breast with the fat and the skin on, we're basically starting in almost a tepid pan and really bringing it up slowly. So heat maintenance is something that is challenging and intimidating for home cooks.
Yeah.
You can always pick the heat up. Wrong. It's hard to make the heat go away. So I think starting low and slow, especially when you're cooking something with skin on it, whether it's chicken or turkey or any kind of fowl.
Okay, yeah. Excellent. Slow cooking. Take your time. Patience in the kitchen. Yeah. That sounds great. Chef, thanks for another great episode. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Chad.
Ciao.
Let's see. This is where you guys can pull apart. Everything was a little bit more subjective the last round. Moving on to the Cipher.
Sure, yeah.
All right. So, chocolate. So this is a tasting note from James Suckling. I'm just going to start doing that now. I don't know. Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it won't.
It's good to have an opportunity to make fun of James Suckling's tasting notes.
Right.
I'm glad you added that in.
Chocolate, cedar, tar, and dark fruit aromas. Big and powerful, with mouth-coating tannins, densely packed dark fruit, and dark chocolate. One of the more formidable wines of the vintage. Still youthful, with luscious tannins that will need some time. Yet it is underlying greatness is already evident. With some aeration, it's drinkable now, but it will benefit from cellaring. Drink or hold 10 years on retrospective.
He didn't say hedonistic.
No.
He implied it, but he didn't say it.
So, Land of Malbec, non-vintage, Mendoza, Argentina. Chateau Pavie, 2016, Saint-Emilion, Grand Cru, France. Don't Feed the Ponies, Billy, 2024. Pinot Blend, light red, from Devon, England. McPherson Cellars, EVS, Windblown, 2016. Red Blend, Texas Highlands Plains, USA.
Wow. Chateau Pavie.
That's
okay.
I mean,
No question.
that's I had some other thoughts also, but between those that were given, I cannot imagine it being anything other than Chateau Pavie. And he probably scored at 102 points.
Who am I to go against greatness?
Okay.
And by the way, that is Chateau Pavie is very famous because that was a wine, I can't remember what year it was, but Parker gave it 100, and Jancis Robinson gave it, she has a different scoring thing, but something like 12 or 13, which is an extremely low score for her, because it's a style of wine that Parker loved and Jancis Robinson hated.
That
was
82?
actually Parker. It
Or
might have been previous. Later than that. Like
2000 or something.
Something like 2000, maybe. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, all right. You guys are right. Good work. That was just right off the bat. Well, all right. We'll do another one. See if I can trip you up a little bit. Always a wall of reduction to blow through, and even though it lingers on the wine the next day, this turns into dusky violets, lavender, and crushed blackberries, rung with sapid branchiness. And
sapid what?
Is it branchiness? I get the word right.
I think that's a nice way to say stem.
It looks like
Branchiness.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Sapid branchiness. So this is Trev Ring from Gismondian Wine. Sapid branchiness and framed with fury tannins. Yeah. Acidity is lifted to the highest, finishing with a rinse of astringency and dusting of pink peppercorn. So I'll give the...
I was just going to say, and clearly a little cocaine.
by hand motions.
I think I know. I think I know why I've never heard of this person.
Okay. Is it the 2021 Kamusha Cabernet Sauvignon Cinsault from Slanghok, South Africa? Is that how I'm saying that? Slanghok?
I believe so.
Okay, cool. Sweet. The 2024 Duckhorn Vineyards Merlot, Napa Valley. The Bernard Baudry, 2021 Chinon Lagrange, Loire, France. Mon Ami Winery, 2018 Cellar Masters Red, USA Regional Wine.
It's got. I mean, I don't know the first one, but I can't imagine it's any of the others from those notes. So I'm going to go with. I don't even know that first wine.
What was the first one, Matt? Can you repeat?
Kamusha. It's yeah. So it's like this kind of this cool. It's this guy who went from restaurants into making wine in South Africa. They're really pretty good wines. I don't know. They're represented by Eagle Eye.
Yeah, he was in that movie. You see that film Blind Ambition about the African sommeliers who were trying to get to some competition.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I've not seen
Blind
it.
Ambition. Yeah, he was one of the guys.
Is there Syrah in that blend? Do we know?
Cinsault.
And that's a weird combination. Also, it's Cabernet Sauvignon, right?
Yeah.
And Cinsault. Mm-hmm. That's a very odd combination. But I mean, Cinsault is a softer grape in general, but it has good acidity. So maybe they're using it to add acidity to the Cabernet Sauvignon.
Well, it's probably not Duckhorn Merlot.
No.
But it's very funny to me if someone would describe Duckhorn Merlot that way, so I'm going to say Duckhorn Merlot. It's probably Lagrange, but saying Duckhorn Merlot. Put me down for Duckhorn.
Okay.
What was the Lagrange again? What was that one?
That was the Bernard.
Baudry. No, I don't think it's
Baudry.
Chinon.
Yeah, Chinon.
I wouldn't think that those notes are Chinon. No offense.
No offense taken. Even though I made the wine.
I'm gonna go for the first one, the Kamusha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're all wrong.
Oh,
Which doesn't help.
Make scorekeeping easy.
could it be that Mon Ami? Because I've never heard of that either.
It's the Chinon.
That's the Chinon.
That's the
No,
Chinon.
you got it.
So I was basically right.
Basically, yeah, sure. I'll give you some
I said I
points.
think it's this one, but it would be funny if it's Duckhorn.
Yeah. I mean, can you?
8 points.
Those notes are not. Those are not Chinon.
Bobby, I'm going to
notes.
print those notes out and make you eat them.
Yeah, those are. It's that guy. That's not a Chinon wine.
That guy that we've never heard of.
What do you think? Chino's not like that.
Reductive with floral notes.
pink
Come
peppercorn?
on. Peppercorns, that's very Chinon.
No,
to me.
But pink peppercorn.
No, but
that's just
but more
douchey
the style.
samurai shit.
Right.
Just say pepper and fuck off.
Right. Fair. That's these are fair critiques of the All right. Well, let's give you one here. It's a little more straight up and down here, and see how you just give you a chance to get some points on the wine ciphers here. So looking at this, you would swear it was liquid sunshine, pale straw with a shimmering, almost green gold clarity, and the nose. It's a beautiful contradiction, smelling like a brand new set of Michelins, but sitting in a field of blooming jasmine. There's that classic petrol funk, but it's pierced by a laser beam of lime zest and green apple. The mouthfeel is electric. It's high acid and bone dry, vibrating on the tongue like a 9-volt battery, leaving a saline crushed seashell finish that lasts for a full minute. It's lean, mean, and incredibly focused.
Whose notes are those?
I don't know. I didn't record that. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So your options for this wine, by the Unknown Taster with the paper bag. Remember the guy, the Unknown comic, had the paper bag? I should do that skit. This could be my little Instagram, and it'll come up here. The Unknown Taster. Our options are 2020 Trimbach, the Cuvée Frederic Emile Riesling from Alsace, the 2019 Rombauer Chardonnay from Carneros, the 2020 La Scolca Gavi di Gavi, the Etichetta Nera, the black label, or the 22 J.J. Prum Grocker Himmelreich Spätlese from the Mosel.
That's too easy.
Prum.
The Trimbach.
Okay, so Bobby's on Trimbach.
I'll say the Prum.
Okay, from Alan.
Trimbach for me too.
The Trimbach.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, that's two that made the. Yeah, it's the Trimbach. What was the towel there? What's the dead giveaway? Because you said it was too easy.
Everything about it. I mean, that's just classic for a dry Riesling from either Alsace or it could be from Germany.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to the dry bit. I guess that excludes.
I don't know if they said dry,
Yeah,
but the style of the notes was for a dry wine.
Yes, yeah, it did say bone dry, high acid,
Lime.
Oh, it did say that.
lime. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. What about the 9-volt battery? You guys
Well, that's
good?
just,
I like that.
that's
You like
just the
that?
acid.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, they nailed that one. So that was pretty accomplished there. And they said it was easy. They said it was too easy. So it was a no-brainer.
jeez.
Well, first of all, you know it's a Riesling because the petrol note. So that
Michelin
narrowed
tires.
it down right there.
Yeah. Well, right now we have in third place is Alan with we're gonna say 89 points, and then Bobby Frank is in second place with 90 points. And then Jason is also in second place with 90 points. So,
I'm in
moving
good
on-
company.
Yeah, Emotive blind tasting here.
Are we on time for a glass check?
Oh yeah, let's do glass check. What is in? What can be in everybody's glasses that doesn't have wine? And what are we drinking on?
I really like this Saint Brie here.
Nice.
You know, it's a combination of the acidity from that region and the 2021 vintage acidity, and I love high acid wines, but it also had a good amount of depth to it.
Who's that producer and vintage again?
That is Clément Lavallee 2021.
Lavallee, yes.
And
Saint
I
Brie.
can't say I'm familiar with this producer, but it's really...
That's the label with the mustache on it.
Yes, the label with the mustache. And I was only in Saint Brie once, and I went to I can't remember who it is, but there's like one really well-known, at least in the area here, Saint Brie producer, and I just, popped in because I was with a friend we were driving through. And unfortunately, and I sort of like this. He goes, I'm too busy with the wines. I can't spend any time with you. And I actually like, in a way, that he said that. I was disappointed. Yeah. And I told him, I really like your wines. I've had many vintages. He goes, the wine takes priority. And I really like that kind of attitude.
You have to respect that.
You have to respect it, yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Well, I've got the Maître de Chai that Jason just poured there, and I often don't like South African Chenin Blanc.
Oh, it's a South African Chenin. Okay.
Oh,
no, what is it?
Lodi.
No, Clarksburg.
Clarksburg.
well, fuck me.
So, Maître de Chai is Clarksburg Chenin Blanc. Is that what you said? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Very nice.
Kierkegaard is the producer.
Kierkegaard.
No.
Oh, no.
Maître de Chai is the producer.
Oh, what's
Maître de
Kierkegaard?
Chai.
Kierkegaard is homage to Leo Steen, who was one of their mentors, who encouraged them to make Chenin Blanc, and then Wilson Vineyard is the vineyard.
Okay.
But Maître de Chez produces the wine.
Okay.
Oh, okay, excellent. Which vintage, Jason? I'm sorry.
24.
Yes,
Oh,
24.
I have to give
Current release.
I have to give that a taste. I like
Wonderfully
it.
salty.
Yeah. I like Chenin Blanc. For this.
That's a really, I mean, Clarksburg is known for their Chenin Blancs, but they're not usually as good as this one is here.
So yeah, Chenin Blanc used to be the second most planted grape in California. I don't know if it still is, but it was everywhere.
No,
for,
it's
Almost no
majority of the
woolliness, which
Yeah.
I abhor.
Oh, I don't know that Craig Harmeyer, woolly kind of really basementy, Chenin that he makes is just fantastic.
You can have my glass.
All right, happily.
And as a reminder here, we're getting ready to roll into the Emotive blind tasting. So, gentlemen, please prepare your glasses. You have the bottle on the table there. And while you're familiarizing yourself with that wine, we'll do a little events update that we have. We've gotten some news from the Michigan Wine Collaboration for some upcoming events. And I think, May will do a little readout for us here.
And in other news, the Michigan Wine Collaborative and Taste Michigan would like to remind everyone that May is Michigan Wine Month. So be sure to get out there and visit your local wineries, which you can find in every corner of the state, from the Michigan-Indiana border to the tip of the mitt to the thumbnail, right here in the Metro Detroit area. Additionally, on June 21st, the MWC, Michigan Wine Collaborative, is hosting the second annual Taste Michigan Invades the Eastern Market. And on June 27th, they're collaborating with the Michigan Firehouse Museum in Ypsilanti for their first Michigan Wine Festival. The trade is warmly invited to attend both events and to taste and learn more about Michigan wines. Visit tastemichigan.org, all one word, no spaces, for more information.
Excellent. Yeah, so as you are tasting your blind wine, let me remind you the Emotive tasting. You've all done it, but I'm going to repeat it for our listeners. What we're looking for from you is your emotional response to the wine, how the wine makes you feel tasting it, or if perhaps it evokes a memory, or you may want to relate it to, if it has a musical quality, you could relate it to a song, or what else can they do? How about Signs of the Zodiac?
Oh, the science of the zodiac. Oh, signs.
Signs, yeah.
Oh.
Science of the Zodiac.
Some would call it a science. I wouldn't. Some.
Or you could do songs you've heard, like Harry Connick Jr. once said. Or you could do... Man, there's a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
give 'em a
anybody
chance.
wants to cut me off while I'm
Yeah, give
talking,
them a chance to...
go for it. Just 100%. It's a red wine. Somewhat clear. It's kind of a bricky red, if I'm getting that right.
Slightly.
Okay.
This one reminds me of the saxophone solo in Careless Whisper.
Okay.
Now you think it's gonna die off, but then it just kind of keeps going at the end.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's a saxophone.
And then you think
I
it's
guess it
gonna
would be.
end, but at the end it goes.
Very good.
I'm not gonna do the whole thing. That's all you're getting.
All right. Well, no, that's excellent. Okay, so the saxophone solo from Careless Whisper, George Michaels.
Hate to follow that.
Yeah, Bobby, what you got now, huh? How's it making you feel?
Fine.
That's demerits. That's how you lose points, Bobby. You got to fine.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Couldn't resist the spoiler, huh?
Well, score him. That's it.
That's it. I stand by that. It really...
Are you indifferent?
That's not quite it, but
Okay.
it doesn't really... This wine, I've been on this before. I've had wines that have had me emote about them.
Sure, yeah.
And this wine just really doesn't have me emote. There's really nothing about it that brings me to anything else.
Okay.
So sorry.
Wait.
I'm
I
honest.
think. Do I have a?
Points,
I might have a.
points for honesty.
Yeah, I might have a little. Little sad trombone.
They can't hear
Perfect. No, they can't. That's just for the fun. A little sad
I love
trombone.
that.
little secret here.
All right. So how about for you, Jason? That is.
This wine
doing
makes
anything?
no. This wine makes me feel extra fine.
Okay.
I really enjoy it. No, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think Bobby's being way too hard on it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
So,
it's good.
It might be a little cold.
It is
it's
a
a
little
little
cold. It is
cold.
a little cold, and that's shutting it down a bit.
But it's not one of the most distinctive, emotive, reactions that I've had to some of the wines that we've
There's
tasted
no 9
here.
volt battery going
Not
down.
quite.
Okay.
But I would say this is super, like, just nobody knows this, but like there was a time when I was in Northern California and drinking wine, sharing wine with people who were interested in wine, and we drink a lot of Syrah, and a lot of Syrah that was whole cluster fermentation, which this brings out to me. And we would always, we would hike Mount Tamalpais, or we go to Tahoe, and barbecue and have oysters and things, and it reminds me of a time. If that's
oysters and
emotive.
Syrah?
No. God, no.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I was like, whoa.
White Syrah.
Those are they're separate thoughts.
Sorry, that was misleading. But I would say just it makes me feel. It reminds me of that time when like you go on a hike and you maybe have a little pack of charcuterie and olives and bread and crack a bottle of that and
Great picnic
good day.
wine.
Yeah,
Great picnic wine.
Yeah,
Picnic
great day.
wine. Okay. All right. Cool.
Well, I have to say, I'm getting this to warm up a little bit.
Oh, now he wants to play. Now he wants to play.
And I'm
You've been scored, sir.
that's okay.
Give it to
and
us.
I'm
Give it to us, Bobby.
I'm
Give it to us.
segueing off of Jason with
Yeah,
this.
go
when
for it. Run
when he
with it,
mentioned
yeah.
the Syrah, and that made me remember, a number of you have been to Cote Rôtie. And to be in Cote Rôtie and see those vertiginous slopes, and to think about two things. One, driving up there, because there are roads that are just, continuous switchbacks and that.
Okay.
But also, most of them everything's done by hand. And for people working where one foot is literally another foot lower than the other foot while they're working in that. And so that, as this is warmed up and based on what Jason was saying, thank you, Jason, it really, that is the image that
So it's
and the
taking
feeling
you-
that I
it's
have.
taking you to
taking me
the
back,
Cote Rôtie
back
region,
to Cote,
huh?
Cote Rôtie.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, that sounds like a pretty good wine.
Oh, yeah.
Do any of you want to venture a guess as to what kind it may be?
Red.
A fine red.
Quite.
No, as it's warmed up, that's really.
A cool climate
Coming
red.
Okay. Anything you can rule out?
Well, Cabernet Sauvignon, I'd go out.
Probably not Nebbiolo or Sangiovese.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
Those are easy to stray.
My first hit on it, because it was quite cold, actually.
Yeah.
I'm impressed you guys were able to taste through that. Because
Well, I wasn't, but
yeah, it was tough. Yeah, well, you got
Clearly.
there. But yeah, my first hit was that it was so bitter cherry, like a kind of astringent almost. And it's now definitely fleshed out some, but it was giving me
like a Sangiovese kind of.
well, no, I was
vibe,
gonna say like Corvina, like a yeah.
I've had Blau Frankish that reminds me of this.
Okay.
Nice. Man, Blau Frankish would be really interesting.
Yeah, I could see a Veneto wine for this here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting all that acid.
Yeah.
Right up front. I don't know what it is. None of the people speaking know what it is. So
Jason, any thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's definitely changed a little bit as it's warmed up. For me, it was all just black olive tapenade, which takes me to Syrah, whole cluster.
You're right on Syrah, yeah.
Yeah. But as it's warmed up, it's a little bit softer on the palate. So I'm
that's
not
what
quite sure
happened
where
to me.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, you want to unveil it and let us know who's going to do the honors there.
Nearest you.
Pull the sock. I don't like calling it a sock. That sounds untasty. I mean, you got to give it a name. It's a sleeve. That's a sleeve.
Sleeves.
that's better.
That's what a sweater.
Yeah.
Okay, the bottle sweater. Okay.
Wow.
It's Italian, I think.
It is Italian.
Hey, I got it right. Points for me.
It's Toscana.
You're the scorer.
It's
You got the points.
Maremma.
From Maremma, okay.
Tenuta Aquila. And it's
Tenuta what? Aquila?
Aquila, A-Q-U-I.
Oh, Aquila. That's I know.
Aquila, sorry.
Another one. Yeah,
Sorry.
Aquila. Aquila.
And
Laia, yeah.
the
Aquilaya.
grape is ciliegiolo.
Ciliegiolo.
Ciliegiolo. What grape?
Ciliegiolo.
What is that related to?
You find ciliegiolo often in the Chianti blends.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really just a kind of primarily a blending variety. So,
It's not typically
Well, how about that?
I
solo.
am not.
Yeah.
Alan, are you familiar with it as a monovarietal? I'm not.
I am not.
Not that accustomed to it. I see it mostly in blends and Tuscan.
I don't even see it hardly ever in blends. Even it's even rarer.
If
in
it is, they're not
blends,
talking
so.
about it.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
What? Isn't it always in Chianti almost?
No.
Almost always.
Colorino.
Maybe they don't list the
Canaiolo.
blends.
Those are the two common ones.
Yes,
Canaiolo, yeah.
Canaiolo is in there oftentimes. It used to
Colorino,
be.
those are the two
Colorino,
common
those are the two
And
main
Colorino,
ones,
yeah.
I mean, there's a dozen of them or so that were
Yeah,
in
yeah,
favor
yeah.
at one time.
Yeah,
or another.
ciliegiolo. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good.
It says Marasca,
Cesare.
sour cherry, black cherry. The first three lines on the nose,
Yeah.
like all the cherries.
Imperial has one. I think it's from not Cesare. It's the ciliegiolo. They make it as like kind of a chilled red, lighter kind of like style. Anyway, but yeah, nice.
This was chilled.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah, it was chilly.
It's better
It
not
was
chilled.
chilly,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair.
It would have been very impressive if somebody had called ciliegiolo. Whoa. You guys are geniuses.
You would have known they peaked.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, Matt is doing the scoring now. Yeah, he's got his calculator out. Click, click, clack. I want to hear from each of you what was the most interesting wine that you've had for this episode here. You tasted through a bunch of wines, and I'm just curious from each of you, what do you call the wine of the show for you? Which one was the most engaging
Well,
or exciting to drink?
We didn't talk about it, but we
Let's
have
talk about it.
Matt brought the Dr. Pauli Bergweiler Bernkasseler Alte Badstube am Doktorberg 1999 Riesling Trockenbeerenauslese.
Yo, I didn't taste that one. How is it?
TBA. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
And how-
excellent producer, excellent vineyard, and excellent wine.
Okay, look at the color. It's a veritable nectar.
Yeah, and it was probably like that when it was pressed pretty much. I don't think it's changed color. Matt and I were talking about it. I don't think
Okay.
it's changed color too much.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, because the berries are they're
So
definitely.
it's so dense anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Sees a lot of oxygen.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Probably sees a lot of oxygen at pressing too. You know, you just let it go. Doesn't really matter too much.
Got to squeeze it for a week to get all that juice out.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Bobby was loving it. He was like, Did you hear it?
Well, that will be my favorite wine. I haven't tried
You
it
haven't
yet.
gotten there yet?
I currently really enjoyed that
Go.
24 Chenin. It was lovely. I love a good salty Chenin.
Okay. The Maitre de Chat, is that one?
Yeah.
All right.
For me, the
How about for you,
Sombrie,
Jason?
the Sombrie was really excellent because this is the only producer that I've had Sombrie from, and I had this wine for the first time maybe 2 years ago, and it was just savage, kind of singular, really raw.
Yeah.
And now
It's settled
with
in.
a little bit of time, it's kind of fleshed out a little bit.
Very
You still get the pyrazine, and it's Sauvignon Blanc, but it's a little bit more subtle and nuanced. So I really enjoyed that today.
There's no Sauvignon Gris in it. 'cause
Very cool.
oftentimes-
I believe it's 100% Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, good, Matt. Do you want to give him the good news?
Yes. So in third place is Bobby Frank with 88.5.
Fine.
In second place is Alan Collins with 89. And then with an unassailable 89.78 is Jason Berkholz. Is our winner. Completely unassailable.
Well fought, sir.
Just crush the competition.
Well, excellent work, guys. We appreciate you coming out. We had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it, too. And we'll look forward to having you back on here. All vets. And
Thanks for having
keep
me.
it rolling.
Thank you for having us.
And Jason, we're looking forward to your
Coming up soon.
coming up soon. So
It's always fun.
it'll be in the show by the time you hear it. It'll be in this show. So, yeah, that's awesome. All right, folks. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.